You have that friend who goes on a trip, and when they come back, they feel compelled to share all of their vacation photos with you, and how that's so great for them. Well, this is going to be like that. So fasten your seatbelt. There are emergency exits on the sides and the rear of the room, and if you are seated near an emergency exit, you may need to help somebody out when I start talking. So my husband and I recently took a road trip. We were driving our car from Connecticut down to New Orleans to give it to our middle daughter. And we went through, that's 9 states in like 12 days. And the first stop was Newark, New Jersey, a rest stop. And New Jersey, where the billboards boast we're close to New York. Next, we went to Newark, Delaware, which is the nicer of the 2 Newarks. And we went to visit some really good friends. We had a beautiful dinner, and then we went back to their place. We watched a movie, and we saw the original Star Wars. Fun fact, in the 1970s, when they made the original Star Wars, we did not have all the computer graphics that we have now. So when the Force was fighting the evil Empire, they had to hand draw all of those laser beams on, frame by frame. Luke Skywalker, I'm gonna shoot him. Hold on. Hold on. Hang on. 10 minutes later, oh, he got me. Next, we blew through Virginia, whose billboard slogan is, Virginia is for lovers, right? But I misread it as the JJ is for lovers. Then in Shanborn, North Carolina, we saw a billboard for this place that said, Shanborn's #1 Chinese restaurant. And I thought, are there 2? And a little while down the road, we came upon the establishment, and the name of it is #1 Chinese restaurant. Also #1 in marketing. Then our son had told us about this. As you get closer to the North Carolina, South Carolina line, there's about 20 billboards, right? For this place called South of the Border. And all these pictures of this guy Pedro, his awesome tacos. But also in this region are all of these political signs saying, protect our border. So let me get this straight. They don't want to see a Mexican unless it's Pedro with an awesome taco, or it's Cinco de Mayo, or it's Ted Cruz on his awesome adventure in Cancun. Then in South Carolina, there's a peanut emporium called D's Nuts, whose billboard brags, clean bathrooms, exclamation mark. Then in Georgia, we spent a little bit of extra time there because we love it there. We went to a flea market, and somebody was selling a lie detector kit. And I thought, I need that. To translate all of the, bless your heart. Then we hit up Tallahassee, Florida to say hey gay to old Ron Sanches, who also has an aversion to any mention of the pandemic. We don't talk about COVID, no, no, no. We don't talk about COVID. But I do feel safe traveling there because I am vaxxed, masked, and mustache waxed. But for a certain chunk of our country, in states that will remain nameless, but rhyme with Alabama and Mississippi, in that chunk of the country, I did notice that I had trouble procuring my plant-based milk for my elitist lunch. So finally we rolled into New Orleans and we spent a week there with our daughter in a neighborhood near City Park. I don't know if you've been there, but they have the most beautiful sculpture garden. It is like manicured, it's mowed, and they have all these gorgeous pathways, the walkways that they keep clear all the time with the leaf blower. And one day we were there, there was a group of French people right ahead of us. Which I took to mean, look at that Rodin sculpture. It's exquisite. Now, our daughter speaks French, so I said, Michelle, what are they saying in French? I can't hear you over the leaf blower. So we also, in the week we spent in New Orleans, we heard a lot of amazing music, and I love music. My husband's a musician, and I only ever dated musicians when I was younger. Here's a riddle for you. It's rhetorical. What's the difference between a harmonica player and an accordion player? Hook it up after the show. And New Orleans is also known for its amazing food. We had some great meals there. And you know you're in the South when at the end of the day, you've got a little barbecue sauce in your bra. After a week, we headed to the airport to fly back. We left the car there, flew back. And of course, the flight was delayed, right? So at 11:17 p.m., we finally board the airplane, and the pilot gets on to explain the delay. Yeah, folks, sorry about that delay. We had to switch to a new plane because the old plane had a hole in the engine. A hole in the engine? I don't want to know that. Use your pilot euphemisms. Like the plane had a little oopsie-doopsie. So we settled into the new plane, which was actually a really, really old plane, and it had these high metal armrests. And I thought, are we in the army? Have we been deployed and nobody told me? And you ever notice how flight attendants, like they're like chipmunks, and they start the day off chipper and helpful, but by the end of the night, they don't give a shit if you want your Bella Vita crackers or your fucking nutsack. And about 3 hours later, we landed Newark, the unpleasant one. And then we experienced about 5 days of lost luggage. So we were finally able to go back to the airport and pick up our bags. The airline employee said to me, "Thank you for not being hostile." And I said, "How I look on the outside does not match how I feel on the inside."